Hello, hello everyone. How's it going? How's it going? I hope you're doing good. And let me just quickly share this across. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing good. Quick notification here is that this might be one of the last streams that I do. From tomorrow, there might be no live streams anymore for whatever reason it may be. But I'll try to make videos and post it, but that will also take a little bit of time. Uh, but yeah, I'll try to do that. And how I'm planning to do videos is that I'm trying to do videos in a way where we are we are uh, not creating like 2 3 minutes 5 minutes videos or 10 minutes videos. I'm trying to create a real time where I'm coding and I record the entire session just like how I would do in a live stream. That is what the plan is. That's what the plan is. Maybe I have to switch on the slide so a little bit better. Okay, I don't think so. The slide has any more charge available, so I'm sorry. I got to do with this. So yeah. So today I'm planning to start continue working on. Hmm, I'll continue working on this thing where I'm working on. Where is my? Okay, so let me pop out the chat. Okay, the chat is in here in case. Uh, okay, so that's pretty much it, and so I finally got Tmux running, and I realized what is the issue. One of the main issues was that I was using Alacrity, which uses heavy GPU rendering, and there is some issue with GPU rendering with that, which for which Tmux and OBS was kind of fighting. And OBS definitely generates a lot of events and stuff like that, and for that Tmux went on busy loop. Things like that happened is what I realized. I never really went deep into it. Uh, okay, so anyways, coming to the main point that this here may be the last stream that I'm doing, live stream that I'm doing. I still have no idea how, because I really love doing live streams and like documenting the journey of my own learning. So, and that is why I'm planning to create videos, but I'm not going to create videos per se how generally videos are. I'm going to create videos where I'm archiving my study sessions. So I'm going to be doing more kind of what is it called? Like not live streams. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing okay. Yeah. Okay. So and I'm sorry, I thought I'll come today live in the morning today, 11 o'clock, and I'll do till night and evening. But the problem is you have a lot of stuff going on at home, and I had to take care of some of the things. So I thought I'll do some cleaning and some of the other things that I was taking care of. So that is why I'm late. Sorry for that. But I'll take a break in between because I have to go have lunch. I didn't have lunch. I had a late breakfast. But yeah, here we are, and here we are doing a live stream, and we're going to continue today working on the API side. And the reason why I want to continue working on the API side is on the right hand side, I have got a bunch of notes. I took help of ChatGPT, I took help of the documentation, I took help of the previous code that I wrote, and I really want to refactor things a lot. And some of the things I realize is, oh, you can have a configuration right of the framework. So this is really, it feels like a batteries included framework. So you can have a lot of things which can help you do this. So yeah, and I want to refactor it, and then I want to start working on the entire thing. Okay. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and go live, and I'm just going to switch my this thing in here and see that if you guys can see it. I think you can see it. Okay, cool. So let me minimize OBS. And I'm not sharing my notes here because it's on Obsidian, and in here I've got a bunch of things which might be required in the process, so that's why I'm not sharing it. And yeah, if I have to share something, I mean, it's just notes that I've written for me to work up. And since I figured out why Tmux is not working, I thought of looking at this called Kitty. Kitty is another emulator if anybody's interested. And this needs to get out. Sorry. Yeah, by COVID Goel. If anybody is interested in this sort of thing, you can look here. This is Kitty. Looks pretty good to me till now. I have not even able to customize it, so you're gonna have to do with this particular thing. But yeah, whatever, doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's a tomb sound, but I don't know from where, but okay, that's fine. Okay. So the very first thing we're going to do is called configuration, and apparently there is something that we can do. So I'm going to create a core, and in here, so first of all, let me just open this one up. Okay, and in here what I can do is cd, well, it's not configuration. I want to name it, I have written here configuration, but I want to name it core because we might have some other things in here which are required. So bear with the fat ass cursor. I was not able to make the change, and yeah, whatever. So let's first let's actually exit. So when print activates, so now do we have any session? No. Okay, and let me just go ahead and say fast API. So we won't run it right away. Okay, so we won't run it right away. Wait a second. I don't want to do that. Why is this not shifting? Wait a second. Why is my cursor not shifting tabs? Dude. Oh my god, the bindings are fucked, I think. Oh, okay, now it works. Oh, so Kitty works differently with shift, so I have to rebind the things also. Every emulator has its own stupid ass thing to do. Such a fucking bad thing. But anyways, so in here, if I save, let's not save that right away. So let's call it core, and in here, config file. So there is something called base configuration, which is coming from Pydantic, I think. But yeah, so what I'm going to do from data classes, import data class settings, and in here, one of them is the DB URL, which is string, and it's going to be MongoDB localhost 27017, right? And in here, I'm going to say root password, this, right? The next thing that we want to do in here, I suppose, is the name, which is string, and it's called public API data DB, something like that. We also need a secret to create a token, token secret, which is a string, and we can simply why is it switching my monitors, dude? Like, what is wrong with me? Just relax. Okay, so I think it's called GRU password gen. Okay, GRC password gen, my bad. Yeah, so we can take this up as your thing. Yeah, I forgot that I have to do shift. Like I said, each terminal has its own stupid way of dealing with events of keyboard. Just stick with Control C, Control V. Look, what is your problem, dude? Okay. And here we have to say it is a data class, and this cannot be changed. So this is this. We might also need something. So token ETL. ETL is basically 300, 5 minutes. So basically that, right? And well, let's see the TTL. Okay. Another thing that we need is let's look at the main thing and oh, we have page size. We can also shift that in here. Uh, Page size is 5. That is also a configuration. Sorry. And instead of settings, I want to call it a configuration. I think that is a more better name. Okay. And what else is there? We also have TPS, which is 10. This is like RPS, not TPS. Uh, Request per second is gonna be 10. I think that should be enough for now. Right. And then I'm just gonna say configuration is equal to configuration. So I instantiate it right away. This one is a little bit of a pain because this one I'm saying it's a data class and I do it like this, but I would also like to have need a way to load this up and startup from a configuration file. So it can be environment. Basically, that is what I mean by basically it can be environment. Okay. So once we're done with that, I feel we can also start working on the DB side, right? So DB side is one of the things that we have to call it like let's call it DB pie. Do we want inside core? Let's do it inside core right now because here I have created it at the root level. My notes have built in the root level, which I don't kind of want, honestly. Let's see. We'll think about it. So we'll create something called Mongo, and here client is Mongo client or none, and initially it is none. From Mongo import Mongo client, right? So let's have self, and this returns back. So how do we do this? We also somehow need settings, right? We also somehow need settings. So from app, not app, it was called server core config import configuration. Did we not? Holy shit. Reset configuration. So in here we have to do this, and not the class in itself, right? We have to do this. So how do you do? Mongo client, you pass in configuration.db URL, and another thing is that we can also say I forgot. So if I go to server, if I go to vent grep, Okay. Mongo client. Well, can you look for class Mongo client? Okay, this is in here. So lib Python site packages by Mongo synchronous Mongo client. There was also some other things that is there. Pool, min pool size, and there's a min pool size. There's also a max pool size. Okay, so mean pool size can be 10, max pool size can be 100. Yeah, if client self client is self client is this. So this is more like a a single root pattern that we're creating in here, and this will also give us the opportunity where we can say that, hey, if the client is created, do not create it back again. And yeah, that's pretty much it, right? 1 second, who's messaging? Just 1 second. uh, okay, maybe I have to make a call. Okay, so now if so what are the methods that I thought about? I have a connect, I have a close, and okay. Hmm. Because I really wanted to make this Mongo client, but there will be sort of clash. Uh, we can kind of abstract it up. Okay, just hold on a second. Close self. This also returns none. If self client is, well, this is if it is none, right? What's wrong? It's not none. If this is the case, self client close, and we can deallocate. All right. I think we can deallocate it. Call me if you can. Okay, just hold on a second. I need to make a call. Okay, so we are back, and where were we? Um, so we are talking about. Okay, so we did a close also. So from what I understand, if you do a close, and we can look into that. Okay, so clean up client resources and disconnect from the MongoDB. End all the server created by this client by sending one or more end session commands. Close all of them. Okay. Return session ID is pop all sessions. If session ID is this, kill cursor executors, process kill topology. Okay, but this is purely closing it, right? So how does it even maintain the pool? Close all sockets in the connection pool and stop the monitor thread. This is exactly what we do not want, right? So I would later change this into some sort of a context manager, but for now we'll go out. And I also want a helper method which is like get db, and this can return a database. I remember there is something called database, I believe. Uh, database. Okay, so it's coming from database.py, and I suppose there are some sort of aliases in front of it where you are exporting it, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Because if I just say yeah, I'm not going to deep dive into right now, but I think it comes from databases. So database, and here uh, if self client is not blah, 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 blah. I'm going to raise an exception. Client is not initialized, is not connected. I just want to save this. Otherwise, what I'm going to simply say is self client of configuration.db name, and if I go into the main server, if I go in here and here, if I just say, hey, along with the server, why don't you say you know what we can do? We can do that. And in main, we can say from server.core.db import Mongo. Right? We can do that. Mongo.h, and then Mongo.get b. This is what I'm looking at. And if I just print the db in here, and fast API dev main, awesome, started fucking failing, expected indentation block. Because okay, because source been activate. Now if I do that, it doesn't have any module called server. Because I don't want that. Okay, GPy. It cannot import name database from Python. Okay, so okay. How do we even import that? So let's go to uh, when bin, not bin. I have to go to libraries. Python. Just saying site packages by Mongo. Okay. So you have this, but you don't have the database. Okay. Don't have the database. Hmm. So how do you import this thing, right? Because it's not exported in here. As far as I remember, this is how you export all of the things, whatever you want to do. But I suppose we have database in here. We don't have a database, but web rm database plus. I have to remove that. Okay, so we have this. So it comes from synchronous database.py. So if I just do this, from Mongo synchronous database import database. Why is it not even doing what I'm supposed to do? But okay, somehow the binds are not working. Man, every terminal has its own stuff in here. But what I'm gonna do here is that okay. I know because it's dev main. Okay, for config. I know what is the issue. By the way, at least for these things, can I just go to the definition? No, I cannot do a GD. I don't know why. Okay, so let's go to core GD, and here I haven't passed in self. That's the issue. Finally, it fucking works. And database is this. So now we are at least in a position where, uh, like, we have a client abstraction which can help. Uh, Oh man, this terminal also has the same issue. Hate it. I hate it. Okay. Just deactivate because it doesn't take in the session. Okay. So, sorry. So, we have a couple of things more to do. So, another thing that I want to work on is the token, right? And what name did I decide for it? I simply did token. Okay. So core token 5. Now, in here, we need a token. So I'm calling it a service, which will have mint token, which itself will take a dictionary of string to any. And the reason why we're doing any specifically is because I can put in certain details in here. So from typing it, right. So yesterday we did where for time, right, and I believe we can do this as int, and this is the epoch time right now if I'm not wrong. uh, unix time stamp 17682 1768210. So we are good. It's 605, and in here you get 636, which is correct. That much time, that much seconds have already passed in doing that. So yeah, so in here, first of all, what I want to do is issue that. I'm just gonna say time. So from both time from what was it? Config import configuration. So expiry should be IAT plus this is the number of seconds passed, right? Yeah. So if I have this, if I convert this, this is saying it's, let me just zoom this in. It's saying it is 9:38 49 GMT. And if I just add 300 to it, so let's add 300 to this. This is what we get. 21102 times. And if I convert this, so previously it was 3849. It is 4349, exactly 5 minutes. So we are good in. So this here is configuration. So what is it? Token TTL. Token TTL. If I talk about this, this is this. We also need some sort of issued to, which can be the subject, but I'm not quite comfortable pushing this thing in here. Well, one of the things we can do in here is that we can say, so what did I plan before? So I was passing in all of the things which I don't quite like. It's trying to do this sort of thing in here. But what I feel we can do is so you can have a secret key, secret which is a string. Sorry. Then you can have a TTL which is an integer. And in here, you can pass in the secret, which is a string. You can also pass in the TTL, which is an int. This doesn't return anything. So self secret is equal to secret. Self TTL is TTL. So in here, we don't need the configuration because I'm going to create this particular class instance from somewhere else. That's what I'm going to do. So if I say min, it has to return back this thing. So it's a syntax error, of course. So in here, what I'm looking for is self TTL. And we also kind of need a subject as a prop. Do we create a subject? Let's not create a subject right away. Let's not create a subject. So we're looking at a payload, right? So we are looking at a payload, and we are also looking at signing and stuff like that. And I also kind of don't like with it returning this. It should return a string back. It should, in my opinion, return a string, the actual token, right? So payload is issued at is INT, and expiry at is expiry. This is what the payload should look like. All right. Payload raw be JSON dumps. There's no one chat. Okay, that's fine. JSON dumps payload. Let's also do sort keys. It's true, and we have to encode it with UTF-8, which also means encode JSON. So this is this. So this is the payload route, right? Okay. The next thing that I do want to do is URL encoded. I think. Because I have to do this URL encoding. So I don't remember how to do that. Python base 64 URL encoding. Okay, we're gonna do this in correct padding. Okay, so you need the correct padding. Okay, so it needs to be padded with this particular thing. Okay. Problem here is equal sign. Since we cannot safely put in an URL, however, since we are using this to store a hash, we're going to generate the hash again, and when we verify the data, we can encode the hash again instead of decoding the base, which lets us safely remove the equal sign. Furthermore, we're also using 27 characters, same as the other complex implementation. Can we decode it? Okay, so you somehow need to do this part. 4 minus length mod 4. That's a math that I don't fucking understand. So URL safe, URL decode. So you're encoding and you're decoding. So in both the cases, you have to strip it, you have to add it. Okay. Maybe we can have a helper function here, and it's gonna be an internal thing. Base 64 encode bytes, and get a raw, which is a string, and you return back. What does it return back? So not this, I want this. Okay, decode byte-like objects are ASCII string into a URL and this thing. So, and returns are decoded bytes. So it returns the bytes. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to pad. We have to say it is 4 minus length of your raw. So you have to take this entire thing and you have to add equals to what is happening. You have to add equals so many number of times to the raw. So we kind of look at this. Also, okay. Now we have to say base 64 dot base 64. What was the method name that we were doing? URL save v64. URL save v64 encode the raw, and here we have to return this thing. So we can also say base 64. Is that what we have to? Base 64. Okay. So we also have to decode this. Can I do some replacement magic and say encode decode globally? Doesn't fucking work. Because encode could be. What is trailing character? What do you expect from me? Encode decode. Yeah. So, but in here, we have to do the other way around. So this is gonna be actually this is gonna be input stream. I feel this is what we have to see. Okay. Replace raw with payload SQL. My bad. raw with payload SPR. Fuck. Raw with payload SPR. Yeah. And this can be raw because this is a bytes, and we're returning back a string. And here you can simply say raw equals raw dot strip of any equals that you see. I feel that's a good thing. Okay. So you have base 64 encode of payload str, and this is the payload bytes, if I say. Now we also need to generate a signature. Right. Now for the signature in itself, what we can do is we can say so what can we do? We can say so I believe there was something called HMAC. Yeah. So hash for message authentication. And we have to do this new. So we have to pass in the key, which is a secret, and the payload, and this thing. Yeah, okay. And then you have to get it out like this. I believe so. Because import hash library, import HMAC. HMAC new. Help if I look at this. So it creates a new hashing object and return it. Key is bytes of buffer, the starting key. A message is the actual message. Is suitable. Okay, so required as of this thing. You can feed arbitrary bytes into the object using its update method. You can ask the hash value at any point by calling its digest or hex digest methods. Okay, so HMAC new. This is a secret, and this is the payload. So let's just say this is bytes. This is bytes. And hash lib SHA-256. Why is it not working? String argument without encoding makes sense. So let's encode this as UTF-8 dot code UTF-8. Built in. Fine. Yeah. Oh, we have to give it there. Okay. UTF-8. UTF-8. A is just a hash thing. What all objects do we have on it? So there's a digest, there's a hex tag. So if I say digest, you get back this. If you say hex, you get it back in hex format, I suppose. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is hmat new. Okay, so we're gonna take so this secret, we're gonna convert it to bytes. Self secret as UTF-8. We're gonna take the payload bytes, and we also need to provide the algorithm that we're going to use for hashing. Hashlib SHA-256. And now I'm gonna say give me the hex digest. Token. This is not a token technically. This is a token data. Data, I would say. Okay. This is a token data. Well, this is not even the data. This is a signature. This is a signature. Now, the signature, we can then kind of group this dot digest. All right. In here, we can say base 64 encode signature bytes. This is what it is, and then I'm gonna return payload bytes dot signature bytes. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. So in main, first of all, I just go here and go to here. Yeah. So now what I'm gonna do here is Python main. So when they activate Python main, so this runs and that's all. Okay. So if I just say token service, so we also have the configuration, don't we? So we have to first import a couple of things in here. Import hash lib for a I suppose even for database, I do want to do this. Where, hold on. For database, yeah, makes sense. From config or configuration. Okay. So I don't really have to pass in anything. It should be self-sufficient. Configuration or token secret. Configuration or token. Yeah. So token services is PS mint. Print this. Python name. Token service is not defined. That is fine. So this is token token service. Token service. This is this. And one of the things I do want to do it here is just like everything else. Token service equals token service. Well, technically speaking, I can use a token service to generate different kinds of tokens, but for my application here, I don't have that requirement. So I feel this is okay. Huh. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to say token service. Token service. Fuck. Ah. Base 64 encode is not defined. Yeah. Cannot concat string to bytes. So you're saying this is bytes? A byte-like object is required, not string, which is square. In Mint, line number 17, in token line 35 and line 14. 35. Right, it's not 35, hold on. Line number 35. So you're trying to do this. A byte-like object is required, not string. You're saying you're not able to do this. You're saying you're not able to do this. That is weird. Because JSON comes A is one. Sort B is true. Yeah, what's the issue? You're asking me to do set parameters. So you remove this with this. Anyways, what is line number 14? It's a string. So if I just look at if I look at print help, I cannot do help here. Fine. Port base 64. Help base 64. Dot URL save import base 64. It's a byte-like object to encode. Okay, so it requires a byte. It doesn't require a string. It doesn't require a string. Meine Freunde. So bytes. Let's just say payload. P64, let's say, is UTF-8. Okay. Where you're still looking at this, line number 36. Yeah, because it's B64. Okay. So now at least it says that this is binary. This is bytes. This class is bytes. So this is good. But only thing here is that we cannot do this append. Cannot do this append. So I suppose one of the ways to do this here would be not to encode it. Not to encode it. So let's make this a string and let's remove this. And okay. But we don't want to take the digest of this. You want to take the digest? Okay, let's look at this. Is this A plus this thing cannot be done, but I can say encode it to UTF field. How about that? Okay, so yeah, B64 encode it to UTF-8 and this here is B64 64, but in here when you try to do this, I have to say encode it to UTF-8. Well, we can always say adding should be 4 minus length of payload 64 mod 4 equals into this and here that not that. I want to just say okay. So where are you saying the okay? Where did I say payload bytes? Payload bytes. Here it has to be 64. Finally, fucking finally. But it is always this thing. We want a string. We want a string. Because we want bytes. We want a string back. and this here, it's gonna be this. This is gonna be this. And so now you have a problem. This is till that. Why is that? Why is it still bytes? Because this thing is not correct. So how do we convert bytes to a string? Mm, So I have uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I say this, and can I just convert it? Says 1. That's correct. That is correct. Okay, so there are 32 bits in here, so 8 bytes. Wait. Fuck. I'm fucking confused, dude. What if I say 1, 0? And it becomes 10? And what if I say this is base? Okay, it's already 4 o'clock. I'm gonna make a quick break, and then I'm gonna start. I'm gonna make a quick break of at least half an hour. I'm gonna have lunch, and then we're gonna continue with this. I have to look into a little bit deeper into how the byte to string conversion is happening, because in some places we're representing the data in bytes, some places we're representing the data in this thing, which I think is not a great idea. So I'm gonna go with this a little bit. I'm gonna go with this a little bit, and then we're gonna come back and do this thing. Hmm. So you have this. Yeah, but we'll look into this after we have after we are done with lunch. Okay. So thank you. Stay tuned. I'm just gonna put a text in here. Uh, oh, thank you. I will be back. Thanks. We are back. We are back. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's look at this thing for a second first. Okay, so this is the payload. This is the just a second. मैं ऑनलाइन जा रहा हूँ. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this for a second first. So this is a payload that we are looking at, and then you have. So this has to be this. Okay. Then payload encoded. So import base 64. URL save base 64 dot URL save base64 encode. If I give hello, it requires a byte-like objects. So I can just say encode and you get this back. Okay. But so now if I say decode this in ASCII, aha, okay, I get it. So this is right. This here is correct. We pass in this, and in here decode, but decode this as ASCII for now, I suppose. Yeah, so let's decode this as ASCII and decode this as ASCII. Can I do that? If I just exit out here. Okay, now it works correctly, saying, okay, this is a signature which will help me verify my token, and this is the actual token which has the data that, okay, this was issued at this, is expiring at this. Later on, we can add any more stuff that we want. Okay. The other thing that I don't like here is that, let's remove that. Okay. So in here, you would say you get back the secret, and you also get back the PTL, and here is the secret, and here is this. Well, you also have to say this, right? Okay. So in main, what I am supposed to do, I also want to go back to Mongo. Mm, and instead of this, what I do want to do is I want to say, sorry, no, this here is correct because I want a single client. So I suppose this is correct because I want a single client. Whenever I do that, it will automatically figure out, okay, what to do, what not to do. One thing we can do here is configuration dot db min pool size. And in here, this is gonna be configuration db max pool size. Maybe we can do a little bit of this in here. And this. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So we would like to actually get token service. Yes. So in here, token service equals token service. Now we have to pass in things. So we also would like to say from code.config equal configuration. In here, configuration token secret configuration token token TTL. Right. So this is what we pass it. Okay, we don't have those, and that makes sense. So I'm just gonna edit config this thing in here. So db min pool size in the string is an int, which is let's say it's 10, and here is max, and let's say this is 100. Okay, and this works correctly as expected. Cool. Okay, now we need to do a verification. Right. So edit for token service. So here we are minting the token, and then we are verifying the token. Sorry, in which we are going to get self. We're going to say token is a string, and here we are just most likely going to return back true false. Well, not that. Cool. Okay. So the very first thing we have to do is we have to first extract out the signature and the payload, right? So data and signature should be token split about this. If token parts if length of parts not equals to, we're going to raise an exception and say invalid token. Well, not that. We can return false. And let's go with Python indentation, stuff like that. So, okay. Next, what we want to do here is that we want to consider having two parts. So one is data, one is signature. Signature, which is parts. By the way, can I do like this? 1, 2, and if I just say B and C, this equals A. Can I do that? I can do that destructuring. So I do that. Then I have to first validate the signature. How do we validate the signature? How do we validate the signature? Uh, we took the payload. I did a mistake in here, I suppose. Encode. Is it not? Strings must be encoded before hashing. Oh. So what I have to do is data p64 would be data dot decode dot encode UTF-8. How about that? Also, why are we doing ASCII in here? Maybe what I have to do is UTF-8 global. That didn't work. Okay. That is fine, I suppose. Because we decoded as ASCII, we also encode as ASCII, and we get that. Okay. Then hmac new self secret dot encode as UTF-8 data p64. We can even do that. We can even do that. Okay, that works. So in here we say take the B64, take the B64, you take the data 64, and also hash lib SHA-256, right? So this itself is also going to give, how do we do HMAC new? Digest, dot digest. So this is gonna be, um, expected signature, and this is gonna be the signature. Well, this is gonna be the actual signature, expected signature, right? Okay. Mhm. Okay. So the expected signature is this. Okay. So this is the digest, which is a B64 by the way. Uh, B64 by the way. Okay. Okay. So now I have to do base 64 decode uh, expected signature B64. So decode is also taking this, and I suppose it returns back again bytes only. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Expected signature is going to be this. Okay. If expected signature not equal to signature, there's also a constant time check. We have to see how to do that. Python import hmac help hmac constant equals compare hmm, Python standard hmac box. Compare. It is recommended to use a compare digest instead. Use a vulnerability to timing attack. So we have to give compare digest, and it's basically byte-like objects. Okay. Hmac compare digest actual signature dot decode. Mm, ASCII and expected signature 64. If not, then you're gonna return false. Otherwise, base 64 decode base 64 decode data base 64 data b64. You get that. You decode it with UTF-8. This here is data. We reassign it. Then we reassign this thing and we decoded it. Sorry. We encode it. Because we are getting back bytes, so we encode it as string. And I suppose we can do JSON load, or is it JSON loads? JSON loads, okay. So loads, what else you're expecting? You're just expecting the data. And I don't think so anything else, right? Okay, JSON data. And this here is, you can reassign it back to data. Print data. Return true. So now in here, so if I just do main, in here we are getting back a token. So in here we're gonna say this is token, right? So token service. So let's first print the token service dot verify the token. I suppose this here cannot be false or something, right? No, it can be true or false. Yeah, we don't have to send back the data. It's just not a JWT token that some actual data is in there, right? We don't have to do that. Okay. Which also tells me that in here, wherever I have mentioned data, can be done with payload. What happened? Why does it not work sometimes? Data payload. Okay. भाग के क्या देखो वो कुछ बना रहे हैं मेरे लिए data with payload global. Yeah, okay, cool. So now here I just want to verify, and this is okay. Now I also want to generate a token, which is token service dot verify abc dot. No. I want to do this thing. So I want to create a token in a way where the first part is a valid thing. So token uh, token dot token dot split on a dot and take the first part and then a dot and then some random bullshit. Right. Print. Okay. Now if I say this didn't work. Okay, so it expects raw.strip. Aha, it expects a byte-like object, not string. Fuck. So we can do one thing. We can say we expect this. Hi Priya. Thank you, Sumukha. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? How are you? So that is why today I'm free and I'm doing a lot of stream, and most likely this is gonna be the last stream for reasons I can say later on, and not right now. But yeah, so later on, what I'm planning to do is have these sessions and record them. Like not any sort of course videos or something. It's pretty boring. So like document the journey of things and then make videos. Also maybe make scripted videos like these. If I say correctly, these are unscripted videos and this is a scripted video if I say in that way. So I'm gonna make more of unscripted videos. If people are interested. Yeah, that is what it is. Okay, so this is decode where all we use base 64 decode. This is the only place? No, there are two places that we use this, and we never actually pass what is the kind of encoding decoding standard that we want to use. But in here we did an ASCII, and in here we did UTF-8. Kind of sus. So if we have to change the signature a little bit, what we have to do is, let's not say raw, let's say S, which is string, and encoding, which is a string, and by default, let's say it is UTF-8. Right? Right. Then you say S, then you can say encoding, and this is S in binary, and here you just say S in binary. So in here we have to do this. So I think it's fine now. No, it is not. Yeah. Man, this conversion is gonna eat my head. So you know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? Why not just, no, then it won't be a readable string then, honestly. Won't be a readable token, which sometimes is helpful, I believe. My mind is going crazy right now. chat, what is the time? The time has come to stop using this and start using IDE, because it's going to help me with this type conversions quickly. So let's actually start working with that for a bit. So I'm just going to open API server. Server. Okay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So let's think about this a little bit. So this here is an UTF-8, this thing. So what you do is you create the payload and you get it into bytes. This is bytes. And then in here you say encode it. And once you want to encode it, you first do a padding of 4 length, this thing. Then you generate the bytes in here. Well, you append it, and then you simply go ahead and create this. Let me actually zoom in, I suppose. We need to zoom in more, like I'm already at 120%, but yeah. So now you got bytes and you return back bytes. Okay. So in here, this looks good. And let's just decode as UTF-8 and here as UTF-8. Let's keep it same. Now, you got the payload as bytes. And this is the actual signature. So, actual signature also as like this. An expected signature is where you take a secret, you take the payload, and you say, okay, I want to hash it like this. To that, then get this as bytes. I don't need it to be decoded. Do I need it to be decoded? Because this is the digest. I need it to be decoded. And this decode will also take in bytes. The problem here is stripping. So we need a way where we strip off things. So let's look it up. Bytes strip. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So, which also means that this has to be a string. There. Okay. This has to be a string. Where we first take this and we encode it like this. And that's pretty much what we are looking at. Okay. So this is B64. Where is it coming from? It's coming from here. Okay. Sorry. Equal. Okay. Okay, we do that. And then here, we take this and you take this. And if they are not the same, you return it back. Okay. Now it takes in a string and it returns back its bytes. So from bytes to this thing, so you have to first encode it. Sorry, decode it, and that's all. So it returns back bytes, and you print the payload and you return back true. Actually, this is what we're looking for. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I do this, UTF-8 code, it cannot decode the byte continuation byte. Because it's URL safe. Because the payload in here has to be ASCII, which you use in the actual thing, and this has to be an ASCII, which is a real thing, and then here in coding UTF-8 encoding. Okay, so see, we took this and we